The dust has barely settled from morning's drama, and we have another Hero Indian Women's League quarter-final tonight. Gokulam Kerala take on Odisha FC with the Juggernauts going beyond the group stages for the first time in their history. And there is a taste simmering at the Trans Stadia tonight, and it will come to a boil as these two fight for a place in the semi-finals. And no changes in a stingy defense for Anthony Andrews, and Mitchell Castana continues to play, and Ashalata Devi leads from the back. But there is a change in midfield. Kashmina makes way for the captain Dangmei Grace, and another goal for Sabitra Bhandari up top will take her into 43 strikes in the history of the Hero Indian Women's League. The plan will be to be different than against Mumbai Knights, says Anthony Andrews, and the plan is always different from one game to the other, and that is probably the reason for inconsistency. But tonight he needs his best to shine. And now over to the Odisha FC lineup, and Shreya Huda is in goal for the Juggernauts, but Crispin Chetri has not switched up things. Cynthia returns to the right wing, and Faustina misses out. Karthika and Jashoda Munda in the midfield in a 4-3-3 on paper, which can easily be a 4-4-2, with Baladevi operating in the hole. Anju Tamang returns to the wings. Baladevi, the side's top scorer with 5 goals. It has been a brilliant return to the league for her. They look so relaxed though, all the players, all the coaching staffs, and everybody in and around the club looks so relaxed. And the news is Linda Com is back on the bench as well, but they can try and shore things up a little bit at the back. And kickstart wait in the semis, and they will watch tonight. They will watch what Anthony does. They will watch what Crispin Chetri does. One of these two will join Naocha Devi for a shot at the final on the 21st. Crispin looking relaxed and prepared for this encounter. It is strange how both the coaches would like a little bit of what the other has. Anthony might wonder what it's like to play with one recognized striker, and let alone two, to play without having to justify his system, to have the total acceptance from his fans back home. And Crispin must wonder what he could do with the riches of the Juggernauts, with midfielders who can win games on their own, but it comes at the cost of immense expectation. But there is something common binding them tonight. They need to prove that they are more than what people make of them, and that they are worthy for the last four in a league of small margins, that they deserve to be among the best teams in the Hero Indian Women's League. Tonight's revenge must not be served in a form of a sweet sugary dish. These two fight together, and tonight's revenge must be served on the pitch, ruthless and cold, and only then will it feel sweet. And so Dr. Arjun Singh Rana, an officer on special duty Sports Authority of Gujarat and Vice Chancellor of Swarnim Sports University of Gujarat, is today's guest of honor. Crispin, before the game, he sounded very relaxed and prepared. When I spoke to him before the game, he was very calm, and he wished it was Tuesday evening, as he was so eager to play the game. So it's here now. It's here. He was very clear he wants to take the trophy back home to Odisha, where he missed it last time around. That will be the mission. And Faustina can also do the same, as she can come and change games on her own. What a fantastic performance from her in the last match. She will be absolutely gutted that she's been left out. She was magnificent in their final league game as well. Intriguing game though. A massive match for both the teams. Let's see which one this one will go. Gokulam have a brilliant record against certain teams like the rivals Sethu Madurai, Kickstart, and even Sports Odisha. No side from Bhubaneswar ever beaten Gokulam, but there is a time for everything to happen, and when it's a one-off the game and a knockout game like this, a form can go out of the window. We saw that early morning, being tight, being cagey, and being ruthless in the middle of the park. The challenges flying in. It was a real battle between the two teams, and I'm expecting exactly the same tonight. Well, the referee for this big clash is Kanika Burman, very experienced at this level, of course. She is assisted by Debala Ilangbam and Moni Khilari. And the two captains will be hoping that the defenses can continue performing very shortly. It will be Gokulam against Odisha FC. Now, both the teams do not travel very well, so of course advantage here for Gokulam Kerala. 6 wins out of 7, no losses yet. But Odisha FC with 5 wins and a draw and a loss in their 7 isn't really great, but is good enough to bank them at the top 3, a spot in the group, which means they are here today. We speak about how they have begun attacking. It's just coming together, almost as it seems like, but it's a step back, bringing in Shilki and Grace to play there in the middle of the park with a slightly deeper role. And Indumati was magnificent in this league so far. So she doesn't want to lose this game, doesn't want to concede early. For Anthony Andrews, that's why Shilki is back in the 11 alongside Grace to keep that back solid. With Ashalata and Mitchell at the back with Ranjana Chanu, they've got pace there. A lot gonna rest on the skipper's shoulder, dragging her girls across the line to get the big W today. So 6 teams remaining rather. Will become 4 at the end of 90 or more minutes tonight, as Gokulam Kerala host Odisha FC for a place in the semi-finals. For Gokulam Kerala, this is a part of the plan, expected, required and compulsory. And Odisha has to be like fireflies, ready to reach as high as possible. To see their name up in the lights, they are still in a dream, trying to bring it into being, meter by meter, game by game. And so Anthony and Crispin, first men in the firing line, are ready. And the players and the fans are ready. And they must all have heard everyone's voices in the run-up to this one. Some near, some far away, and some familiar, some fading. But now it's time for this game and this moment. And now the senses will heighten at the Trans Stadia once again. So Gokulam Kerala against Odisha FC. Off we go then. A chance to strike early for the Malabarians. Under pressure, Odisha FC straight away from the off. Roja Devi's corner. A poor one from the number 12 into the side netting. Went towards the near post, even though it was marked by Manisha Panna at the near post. But here comes Odisha FC from the right. Couple of white shirts arriving in the box. One of them is Baladevi. On the far side was Anju Tamang. Just touched her behind for a corner by Bitrice. And Anthony Samson Andrews has been in this situation last year as well. Up against Crispin Chetri. Those two once more battling it out against each other. Odisha FC's corner towards the back post. Baladevi with the header! And Odisha FC have taken the lead. And almost a similar story like the last season. Crispin Chetri in charge of Setu Madurai, and they took the lead in the last game against Gokulam. Almost a similar scenario here as well. Crispin Chetri's side taking the lead. Anju Tamang's corner. Baladevi rose above couple of green shirts. A goalkeeping error from Bitrice. And the Indian legend heads her team in front. Goal number 48 for Baladevi in the history of Hero Indian Women's League. She is 6 goals ahead than Sabitra Bhandari. What a blistering start. An explosive start from Odisha FC. Gokulam Kerala taken by surprise in this great game of glory. Whenever Anthony Andrews and Crispin Chetri comes up against each other, Crispin Chetri have always taken the lead. And Anthony Andrews, he usually fights back from behind. Will there be something similar tonight here as well? There he is, Crispin Chetri, the former India international. Played for several years for the Mariners in Kolkata. He knows how to handle pressure of games like this. What a big win this will be for Odisha if they manages to see this game over the line. It will take them into the semi-finals, and they never finished below second. Gokulam Kerala in the Hero Indian Women's League. But Odisha could well be a slippery slope. Something tells us we haven't seen the best of Cynthia Dos Santos either. And Crispin has gone with a little bit of experience in midfield. Warning signs in Gokulam Kerala's defense already. Anju Tamang applying pressure, look at that. Sudden acceleration in close quarter, just tipped away by the defender, Mitchell Castanha. A slightly nervous start from the number 13 of Gokulam. Anthony Andrews going with a 4-2-3-1 that allows him a great control in the center of the park, with Dangmei Grace and Shilki Devi in a deep role, and Indumati playing slightly in an advanced role. Going by the formation that has been handed to us before the game, Sabitra Bhandari looks like she's been deployed in a false number 9 role. And Dangmei Grace across the face of goal. That cross was slightly wanting on that occasion from the Gokulam Kerala skipper. Got down on time, Shreya Huda. She is up against her former side. Won the Kerala Women's League with Gokulam a couple of years ago under Anthony Andrews. She is up against her former side. A few of the players rather from Kickstart signing for Odisha FC. Anju Tamang is one of them. So as Sweetie Devi in defense. There's Bala Devi. She has tasted blood. The captain, leader, legend of the mark. She has been Odisha's captain, Odisha's inspiration. Bala against Ashalata Devi is going to be quite a matchup here. There she is, Bala, clever flick. It has opened up for the number 12, waiting for the bounce on the half volley. Just blazed it over the top, Karthika. Another, a former Gokulam Kerala player. A delectable lob from Bala Devi. Just waited for the bounce to create that half volley opportunity. And then took it on the rise. Hits it on the volley. Gokulam Kerala on tenterhooks. Bala Devi slightly released forward because we know Manisha Panna dropping back into the back line is very interesting for me. Karthika and Grace Lalrampadi will be allowing the other side to push forward and be expansive when they need to. It's a 4-3-3. Cynthia Dos Santos, Bala Devi and Anju Tamang up top. Faustina is on the bench. So they've got good feet when it comes to scoring goals. Gokulam have scored 53 goals so far in the group matches, and Odisha have scored 20% of the 28 goals, almost half of the number of strikes registered by Gokulam in this competition. Bala Devi is the side's leading goal scorer with 6 goals. Sabitra Bhandari on top of the pile with 26, looking for her 27th. Almost again the ball is won back inside to the penalty area by Odisha FC. Questions asked of the Gokulam Kerala defence. Here is Bala up against Ranjana. A biting challenger from Shilki Devi. Went down too easily. The number 10 is Roja. It is the headline clash of the quarterfinals. Reigning champions Gokulam Kerala taking on Odisha FC. The Malabarians emerged as the group toppers with 19 points, while the side from Bhubaneswar finished third in Group B with 16. 5 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. And ahead of the gripping fixture today, Anthony Andrews shared his thoughts on his side's preparations. The ball is hoisted across the far side. No one was attacking the ball at the back post. Roja Devi looked interested. A second corner for Gokulam Kerala. And Odisha FC have taken their chance from set piece. Now it's Gokulam's turn. Lands awkwardly into the roof of the net. Sandhya with the attempt. She's been in red hot form, Sandhya, isn't she? A hat-trick against Kahani FC. Since the end of the group stages, Gokulam have focused on maintaining their fitness level and working on their tactics. They have been analyzing their opponent's strengths and weaknesses and developing strategies to counter them. The players have been training hard and are confident that they will be able to fight back if they stick to their plans. Anthony also spoke highly of their opponents. Odisha have got plenty of experienced players and they have really come out strong. Gokulam will need to be at their very best the remaining 80 minutes or so if they are to make something in this game. Here is Bala all by herself. A support from Anju Tamang. Sandhya collects. Dangmei Grace. Roja is available. Picks her out. Ashalata Devi over the top. Nodded back towards her goalkeeper from Julie Kishan. Playing with a lot of confidence. Odisha FC. Their defense looks well prepared against this potent Gokulam Kerala attack. Sabitra Bhandari yet to touch the ball though. Odisha FC will look to cut off the passing lanes towards the number 9. There is a certain gap in midfield between Shilki Devi and the number 8 Indumathi. Gokulam Kerala finding some space down the wings. Defending with ease. Odisha FC. There is Indu. A beautiful ball played forward. Sabitra Bhandari. And a well-timed challenge from Sweetie Devi. She concedes a corner here. All the individual battles arousing a lot of interest in this game. Sethu Madurai also leading at the Shahibagh Police ground against East Bengal. Still a long way to go in this match. Anju Tamang gathering pace. Going in tight Kritina Devi. It's a must-win game, a knockout game rather, for both the sides. Setu have worked hard to be here and brought on a winning attitude, and every match presents its own set of challenges and are focused on themselves and look to give their absolute best effort to win. Crispin also opened up on how his side trained during the last 3 days break and focusing on improving their fitness and tactical awareness and deploying team unity along with assessing their team's mental and physical health. It looks like it's gonna be a card. Arifa Zahir has been booked for that robust challenge. Ooh, that must be painful for Roja Devi. And there's that shoulder straight into the face of the number 12. That was pretty blatant from Arifa Zahir. Giving away a free kick to Gokulam. Ashalata Devi floats it into the penalty area. And Shreya Huda comes out strong. Perhaps the biggest shake-up and also the biggest cause of all shake-ups was the entry of Odisha FC. The ISL Outfits women's team have been catching eyeballs off the pitch for the numerous big names they have signed to be part of the squad. In addition to signing local stars like Pyari Khaka, Manisha Panna, Odisha have also gone to sign on Indian internationals like Sweetie Devi, Karthika, Anju Tamang and Shreya. The biggest signing though is Bala Devi. Via her strike, they are leading against the mighty Gokulam Kerala. Bala's signing has understandably marked Odisha among the favourites to win the title this season. The Manipuri stalwart making a return in the Hero Indian Women's League with a bang after spending 1 season away. Played with a lot of dominance for Rangers in the Scottish Premier League. That proves her worth as a striker. And she's got the mettle and the pedigree to deliver years after years at this level. First quarter of an hour gone at the Trans Stadia. Gokulam Kerala trailing by a goal to nil against Odisha FC. And that was Anju Tamang. She comes from Bidpara, West Bengal. And the 27 years old. 12 international goals for India. A couple of strikes for Setu last year. And the 9 appearances. Here they come. Anju Tamang finding a lot of space. That would have been an absolute blinder had that been on target. And the keeper in goal can breathe a sigh of relief. That was certainly bending in. Cynthia linking up with Anju Tamang as she unleashes a pile driver from 20 yards out. That could have been something very, very special from the number 9. Gokulam Kerala driven on the back foot. They are knocked out of their strides by Odisha's positive play. Can they get their acts together? Gokulam Kerala looking to fight back. A snapshot from Grace. Easily dealt with by the Odisha FC defence. And Jashoda Munda tried to move it forward. There she is. We'll try and show you the incident between the number 12 and the number 6, Shilki and Karthika. A body check from the number 6. The referee doesn't like it. Cross comes in. This time almost a catching practice for big tries. The goalkeeper from Ghana. And the other foreigner is Sabitra Bhandari. Starting for Gokulam. Only one in the field. Oh, that is a misjudged commitment from Ranjana Chanu. Bala Devi swings one in towards the far side. Anju Tamang was just waiting for the ball to come towards her. That was the tiny little dink from Bala Devi towards Anju. Kritina, route one ball. On the chase is the number 11. Flicks it over her marker, Dangmei Grace, dangerously inside the box. Was she brought down is the question. A powerful challenge from Manisha Panna. Referee plays the advantage. And some respite for Odisha. A booking for Ranjana Chanu. Quite clumsy from the left full back. There she is from behind onto Cynthia Dos Santos. Both Ranjana Chanu and Kritina Devi playing in a slightly advanced role. The two inverted full backs just tucking in alongside Grace and Shilki Devi. Mitchell Kastana and Ashalata Devi holding a very tight line. The two fullbacks are pushing up, creating more spaces in the center to operate in and create more passing angles. Yet to see Sabitra Bhandari get involved in this game though. Setu Madurai have also doubled their lead. Quite the favourites of being the third team to enter the semi-final. Now 21 minutes into this match. Gokulam yet to score. Kritina, Ashalata Devi. Gokulam committing unforced errors. That's what pressure does sometimes. Anju Tamang looking to take on Kritina. Stays strong there, the number 2. And Anju Tamang was in the spotlight after a string of phenomenal performances in the recently concluded first round of the AFC Women's Olympic qualifiers. She was also steered in the SAF Women's Championship in 2022, memorably scoring a sensational poker against Maldives. An Indian Women's League will help them to gain confidence in the form of game time, which a player needs the most. The current iteration of the IWL 16 teams battle in 2 groups, followed by the playoffs. A first attempt on target from Gokulam Kerala in Dumati. That was the chance for Roja Devi. And not troubling the goalkeeper Shreya. Roja Devi did score in the last game against Mumbai Knights. There is Bala. Well measured ball. Anju Tamang gets a foot in this time. Kritina Devi. The ball is kept in play. Anju. She's got a back full of tricks. Goal kick for Gokulam. Odisha FC have put together an enviable squad. Anju also stresses on the relationship between the players, saying that they have a good mixture of senior players and youngsters and are bonding well as a team. So it automatically gives a feeling that they are going to gel well on the field too. That is already been visible in the field of play, at least in the first 24 minutes or so. A wrong footing Kritina runs ahead of a marker Anju Tamang. That was the pullback towards Bala. Didn't reach the number 10, Bitrise. Mitchell Castana, Asharata Devi, Sandhya, Indumati. Cleverly done in the end by Manisha. There she is, Sabitra Bhandari, second highest goal scorer in the history of the Hero Indian Women's League with 42 strikes. 26 this season, 16 previously for Gokulam, back in the 2019-20 season. Now Grace. Now the ball is into no man's land. Ranjana Chanu once again losing out to Jashoda Munda. Very tenacious right winger, the number 8. Doesn't give up easily. Fights for the ball till the last minute. Never say die spirit from this Odisha FC side. Gokulam Kerala looking slightly nervous. Looks to be slightly in a hurry. They got to take their time on the ball, settle down, try and find that rhythm. A few positive touches. One good move going forward can give them back the confidence which is lacking at present. Here is Dos Santos, the Brazilian recruit of Odisha. Faustina is on the bench. It will be intriguing to see how Crispin Chetri utilizes his cards. Both Linda Com and Faustina. They will be rearing to come on in the second half. There she is, Bhandari. Picks out Dangmei Grace. Grace keeps going. Attempts are futile in the end. Crispin Chetri has been with the squad as the head coach ever since its unveiling. He has a deep connect with the state, having led them with vigor in 2022 edition of the state championship. A very good instructor and a coach who makes it possible for the players to understand how they should be tactically. Communication is always the key in football, and he has the ability to communicate effectively. That's the whistle for the cooling break. And it is via her strike. Anju Tamang's corner and Bala Devi's header. Giving Odisha FC the lead. I'll try and show you the goal. The only decisive moment of this game. This was Jashoda Munda with the cross. Keeper stretched early. And Anju Tamang's cross and Bala Devi's header. This was certainly a match made in heaven. The two India teammates combining to devastating effect to do the damage. Time and again Anju looked threatening. This time sat up perfectly on the bounce for Karthika. She couldn't hit the target. And Cynthia linking up with Anju Tamang. Wasn't too far away that attempt from the number 9. A couple of hard challenges flying in. And that is bound to happen, especially in a game of this stature. The two senior players having a conversation with each other. Bitrise and Sabitra Bhandari, who has been devoid of service so far in this game. The likes of Sweetie Devi, Manisha Panna, Julie Kishan and Arifa Zahir has been absolutely solid at the back. Anthony Andrews yet to find an answer to Crispin Chetri's defensive resilience. That needs to be broken. That needs to be broken in a hurry if Gokulam are to come out victorious in this game. Going into the break with this kind of a score line in the second half, things will become difficult for Gokulam. They'll have to come out all guns blazing. Eventually they'll lose their shape in defense. That will allow Odisha FC the time and space to hit them on the break and double their lead. Anthony Andrews wants to get the job done in the first half itself. At least try and get the equalizer. But so far, Odisha FC, they look the better side the first half an hour. It's 3 against 3. Here comes Gokulam. Sandhya. A great block from Sweetie Devi. 23 years old, the number 2 of Odisha FC. 52 caps for India at such a young age. And goes on to show that she is a regular member of the senior side. Kritina's low cross. Heads it out to safety. Anju Tamang, look at that takedown. Excellent first touch from the number 9. Adds a certain comfort on the ball, the number 9. So interesting to see her play, who made her debut for the Indian national team in 2017. Later she joined the Rising Student Club the same year for the Indian Women's League and clinched the trophy too. She went very close with Setu last year, but lost out in the final to Gokulam. Will look to take revenge this season. Now into the gully for Jashoda Munda. Jashoda Munda's cross in and Baladevi was completely free in the centre. Fast to it was Mitchell Castana. Ranjana Chanu into the feet of Sandhya. And now Sabitra Bhandari. She has got Sweetie Devi for company. Sweetie wins the battle. Dos Santos at the other end. Jashoda Munda. The one-touch build-up didn't come off. Ranjana got to be careful. She's on a yellow. Can't afford to make another rash challenge. They got to make the wing active. Gokulam. The fullback especially not been about to provide support so far. And Jashoda Munda and Cynthia just keeping both the fullbacks busy and occupied, and thus not allowing them to go on the overlap. And now Anju Tamang saw the gap clearly but couldn't execute the pass. Bala Devi at present is the out and out striker. Sabitra Bhandari can latch onto it. Julie Kishan. Sandhya. Indumati rises the challenge. Creates room for the cross. Roja Devi nods it back across goal. Runs straight to Shreya. And Anju Tamang's versatility makes her a promising player in numerous ways. Her game and positional awareness makes her available for the team to rely on. That's a sensational ball forward, and Anju Tamang almost doubling the lead. And not getting it right this time around. Just taken away from Kritina Devi. She was closing in on that, Anju Tamang. Setu Madurai on the other side having a field day. They are up by 3 goals against East Bengal. Anju Tamang delivers. Almost a lucky deflection for Odisha. And a side-footed attempt from the number 12. That was Karthika. At least something to show for her going forward. This time managing to hit the target. They got to lift their morale here, Gokulam Kerala. Still a lot of time to make a game out of this. Karthika on to Baladevi. She's having a fine game so far. She's been the difference maker. Odisha FC's match winner. Manisha rock solid at the back this evening. Odisha has no shortage of fans when it comes to football. They're expecting some good backing as they make their way for the premier footballing competition for women in the country. Fans got to show support in numerous ways and want them to back up until the end of the campaign. Cynthia is a proficient as a left back and can also play as a midfielder on the left as well as a left winger. Her presence has inspired domestic footballers, inspires the other girls a lot. Her training drills, especially the technique and skill and temperament, are motivating domestic players a lot. That's a good looking ball delivered by Sandhya. I was expecting Sabitra Bhandari to get on the end of it. Sabitra almost putting her body weight onto Julie. Here is Sabitra. No space to shoot. Silky Devi. Wasteful in the end, the number 6. And Odisha FC have trapped Gokulam Kerala's midfield in a web so far. And the Malabarians are struggling to entangle that web. Anju Tamang. The number 9 and the number 10 of Odisha FC are surely having a fantastic game so far. Are probably having the best game of the season, Anju Tamang, so far. Passing has been a lot more incisive from Odisha. There is one more ball. This time Ranjana Chanu was alert. Lurking behind her was Cynthia. Dangmei Grace. Roja Devi. Dangmei Grace continues with her run. Sweetie Devi gets across to it. And now Grace. Chance for a cross. The body is waiting in the center. I could have left it for the keeper. Anju Tamang just trying to be a bit too clever. Doing her share of defensive work. Bala. She can hold up play. Jashoda Munda. Loses out to Shilki Devi. That was a stray pass. Getting it clear. The team in green. Jashoda Munda. Cynthia. A foul awarded in Odisha's favour by Kanika Burman. When Odisha FC made a team, obviously it was a matter of huge pride and also rekindled the hope for women's football in the state. The defender is one of the most experienced players on the block, having made debut for the Indian national team as early as 2015. Despite being one of the mainstays at the centre-back for the national team and a former member of the 3 clubs that have gone on to win the Hero Indian Women's League. The league has eluded Panna. She has reached the final on 2 occasions for Rising Students Club and Eastern Sporting Union. However, she found herself with the shorter end of the stick. And now in a packed Odisha FC team, the 32-year-old will be backing herself to go all the way for glory. Indu's touch, Savitra Bhandari asks, and she has been obliged. Indumati holding her run inside the box. Grace Lalrampari making the clearance. Won the senior national football championship with Mizoram in 2021-22 season. There is Cynthia. She comes from Aizawl, Grace Lalrampari. Very young, just 22 years old. Sandhya is clearly on. Early ball comes in. And that glancing header from Sabitra Bhandari. Just couldn't get it goalwards. The number 9. This was a teasing cross from Sandhya. Well covered from Sweetie Devi. Just dismantles the Nepalese international. Just throwing herself into the challenge, Sweetie Devi. Working their socks off. Crispin Chetri's team. She looks to be quite in pain. Just landed on the knee of Savitra Bhandari. Must have hurt her lower back. Sweetie Devi taken out for treatment. And we hope she is alright. Rock of Gibraltar in Odisha's defence. Gokulam have conceded 6 goals. And Odisha FC on the flip side have conceded only 2. Bhandari, a flag should go up against her. She is unhappy. Clearly offside. Offside by quite a few yards, the number 9. Sweetie Devi is just another example of one such shrewd acquisition by Odisha. She will be tasked with marshalling the Kalinga Warriors defence and mark Sabitra Bhandari. Baladevi delivers a cross. This time straight to Bitrise. She had a couple of white shirts inside the box to aim at. Sandhya. Indumati plays it inside. Quickly latching onto the poor touch from Arifa Zahir. Here comes Gokulam Kerala. This is where she is so dangerous. Roja Devi with the cutback. And Dangmei Grace couldn't make it count. Additional time of 5 minutes. Shown by Neetu Rana, today's 4th official. That was Sabitra Bhandari with the pullback. Just couldn't adjust her feet and guide that goalwards, Dangmei Grace. Sandhya. Bhandari. Oh, given away. Roja Devi lets fly. That was Shilki, pardon me. No trouble whatsoever for Shreya Huda in goal. Only one attempt on target from Gokulam in the first half. Setu Madurai just toying with East Bengal's defence at the Shahibag Police Stadium. Sandhya. The ball finds its way to Sabitra Bhandari. There's the second attempt on target from Gokulam in the first half. A whimper that never became a roar. Setu have just made it 4-0 against East Bengal. So that game is quite done and dusted. A kickstart and Eastern Sporting Union, the two teams who've made into the semi-finals earlier in the day. Kickstart beating Hops 2-1. And Eastern Sporting Union winning against Port Sorisha in tiebreaker. Dos Santos. She's not been so effective in the first half. Now the searching cross went up for it. Bhandari will chase and she will get there. Cleverly picks out a green shirt, leaves it for Dangmei Grace. Still not cleared by Odisha FC. Danger is still lurking. And Roja Devi makes it 1-all. What a time to score an equalizer. Anthony Andrews is absolutely delighted. Roja Devi on the score sheet. What a clever pass from Sabitra Bhandari. A mistake from Manisha Panna. Odisha FC not managing to clear their lines. And Odisha FC making them pay for it. Baladevi strike nullified by Roja Devi in the first half itself. Just at the cusp of half time. Gokulam are right back into this game. It's 1-all at the Trans Stadia with a minute left in the first half. Baladevi looks so frustrated. Poor defending from Odisha FC. Just one time in the first half they faltered. And Gokulam takes their chance. Anju Tamang to the left of goal. Turns behind. Interception from Shilki. Grace. Got to hold the ball. Sandhya. She's got quick feet. Sabitra Bhandari. First time attempt is blocked. Roja Devi's touch behind. Shot from distance. And in the mix was Roja Devi once more. Out for another corner. A last chance of the first half for Gokulam. Can they take the lead from this corner? A pendulum has quickly swung from one end to the other. Odisha started on a brighter note. Gokulam fighting back. A good collection nonetheless from Shreya Huda. And that's the end of the first half. It's been a nail-biting encounter the first 45 minutes. And as it stands at half-time, it's Gokulam Kerala FC 1, Odisha FC 1. Sabitra Bhandari with a sensational pass. Just breaching the Odisha FC defence. Half-time at the Shahi Bagh as well. Setu Madurai in a comfortable 4-0 lead against East Bengal. And here it's even Stevens at 1-all. The fourth quarter-final kicking off at the Trans Stadia, which is regarded as the marquee fixture between Gokulam and Odisha FC. And this is how Odisha taken the lead from Baladevi's strike. A couple of chances as well for the Juggernauts. Had a chance to double their lead. Karthika not managing to hit the target, so as Anju Tamang from distance. Cynthia and Sabitra Bhandari looked very depleted in the first half, even though the latter grew into the later stages of the first half by setting up this pass towards Indumati. Digs it out for Roja Devi, who draws the first blood for Gokulam. So at the break, it's Gokulam Kerala 1, Odisha FC 1. We will come back with the second half action. Welcome back to the second half between Gokulam Kerala and Odisha FC in the Hero Indian Women's League quarter-final number 4, and the winner will go and face Kickstart in the first semi-final on the 19th May. It's been an entertaining half of football, and Gokulam equalized just at the stroke of half-time, and so psychologically they'll start the second half on a high. Gokulam Kerala walk out once again in a certain swagger and a few smiles, but there are more 45 minutes, and Odisha will hope they can spoil the party. It is time for the Juggernauts to stand up and be counted against Anthony's Gokulam. At some point, certainly Anthony Andrews will plan to bring in Vivian Ajay. Dangmei Grace just pushing up slightly from her defensive role in the counter-attack. For Crispin, he has a more attacking lineup, of course. Chances have been created, but a few of them not put away. It's that little bit of clinical difference between the two sides. Gokulam with one chance, one real scoring chance, and they've managed to make it count. Odisha FC on the flip side had a couple of more since scoring the opener. It was imperative to take your chances in a game of this magnitude, in a game of this stature. Baladevi, the skipper of the Odisha side, once again will have to lead from the front in the second half. She will need to be the catalyst. She will need to be at the center of things to produce the goods once more in the second 45. Gokulam just bouncing back at a very crucial juncture of the game. Just before Crispin Chetri was preparing for a half-time team talk, but that strike from Roja Devi forcing Crispin Chetri to change his half-time team talk altogether. We are underway then with the second half, and so the second 45 begins at the Trans Stadia. Gokulam Kerala against Odisha FC, the marquee fixture of the Hero Indian Women's League 2022-23 seasons quarter-final. Cynthia finding a lot of joy, but that's a cynical challenge from Ranjana Chanu. She is already on a yellow, could potentially be under pressure. Seems like it's a double yellow for Ranjana, and sent off the number 14. And Gokulam Kerala down to 10 players. What a vital blow for the Malabarians. Just when they looked a bit more relaxed, this incident happened. Ranjana Chanu sent off. Early shower for the number 14. One yellow in the first half. A cynical challenge on Cynthia dos Santos. Kanika Burman showing her a double yellow, which eventually turns into a red. Anju Tamang delivers another header. So close. Odisha FC. A peach of a ball from Anju Tamang. Completely unmarked. Questions will be asked on Gokulam Kerala's defense. Grace almost finding the target, almost finding the back of the net. Gokulam now will have to sacrifice a midfielder. One of them need to drop back, and it will eventually be Shilki Devi who will drop into the defense line. Number 9, Sabitra Bhandari, is going to be the lone front runner. That looks quite painful. Almost snaps into the heels of Baladevi. She is in a lot of agony. That was the challenge. Straight onto her ankles. That also looked a card offence. But gets away with the challenge, Shilki Devi. Sandhya, the number 7, will have to cover a lot of ground. Odisha FC will look to take the numerical advantage. Cynthia. It is Cynthia was just inviting for the challenge from Roja. Eventually wins a throw-in. Setu Madurai striking just within the first couple of minutes in the second half, making it 5-0. It's turning out to be quite an embarrassing evening for the Red and Gold Brigade. They conceded 8 in the opening game against Gokulam, and now down by 5-0 against the former champions. Knocked back into the danger zone. Gets another go at it, Julie Kishan. At 25 years after Kerala Police won their second straight Federation Cup in 1991, Gokulam Kerala brought the smile back on the passionate Malayali football fans by becoming the first team from the southern state to win back-to-back I-League and IWL Championship, the premier club tournament that actually exposes the depth of talent across the length and breadth of India. For a team that was born in 2017, Gokulam's success is a vindication of a team's unrelenting pursuit to bring back the glory days of Kerala football, which was once a footballing powerhouse. Football remains a Malayali's first love, and if a Srishant or a Sanju Samsung made the headlines with their cricketing exploits, it was purely because of the football had taken a backseat ever since the likes of I.M. Bijayan and Jopal Ancheri gave up serious football around 2005. Vijayan continues to remain a crowd puller. And Dangmei Grace, can she become a crowd puller for Gokulam this evening? Indumati's cross runs towards Sandhya. Riding the challenge, Sandhya onto her weaker side. She will claim that all day long. Shreya Huda. It will be an uphill task for Gokulam. A cheap giveaway. Sabitra Bhandari! That was the moment for Gokulam. Just flashing it wide. Dribbling past a couple of white shirts. Selling one dummy to Sweetie Devi. I can't believe her luck. Shreya Huda in goal. Looks completely switched off. Sabitra Bhandari in this game. Apart from one occasion late in the first half where she burst onto the scene and produced that pass, which resulted into the equalizer. Sabitra once again. Sabitra's cross in. Layoff for Grace. Quickly closed down by a white shirt. A break could be on here from Odisha FC. Anju Tamang not allowed to go past Kritina Devi. Sandhya was there to help out. Gokulam will look to take this game, will look to drag this game towards the tiebreaker. They will sit deep and soak up the pressure. Sabitra Bhandari, Sweetie Devi was down. The play continues. Easily defended by Manisha Panna. Anju Tamang. She has been the standout performer in this game for Odisha. Anju Tamang. Lightning pace down the left. The ball is still in play. Eventually it runs out of space for a corner kick. Will we see that combination once more? Working in favour of Odisha FC. And almost giving Mitchell Castana a run for her money. Only 4 white shirts inside the box. Anju Tamang. Towards Julie. Comes off Baladevi in the end. Gokulam Kerala. Can they throw on a counter in Indumati? Goes direct. Spots the run of Grace. Sabitra Bhandari empty in the middle. Grace squaring it for Sabitra Bhandari. Just wide. Just forced a little bit wide by the marker. A good defending from Sweetie Devi. Just forced a little bit wide. She lost the sight of the ball. And the vision towards goal as well. Went off balance clearly. Dangmei Grace squaring it for the Nepalese international. Chances at both ends. Here comes Jashoda Munda. Deflection of a green shirt, Kritina. Should be cut out by Cynthia. Not been so proactive down the right wing, the Brazilian. And now Grace surging down the center. Grace keeps going. That's a tremendous run from Grace off the woodwork. And the finishing just lacked in the end. And look at that run from Dangmei Grace. Left all the white shirts behind. Running riot almost through the Odisha FC defense. Going down to 10, we all thought Gokulam Kerala would go into a shell, but they're expressing themselves instead, almost as if a weight taken off their shoulder. They're cutting loose completely. Operating a lot better in terms of going forward. And now Baladevi with that reverse ball into the path of Anju Tamang. Anju holds up play. Allows Sandhya to make that outstretched tackle. Bhandari. Early challenge, putting her off. The ball is won back by Odisha. No space to breathe. Cynthia just couldn't get ahead of Roja Devi. Cynthia takes on Roja. Cynthia's cross in. Allows it to run in towards Bella Devi. Anju Tamang went off balance and Sandhya picks it up. Away from her one challenge, Sandhya. Coming in field. Playing it towards Grace. Sabitra Bhandari ahead of her. Sandhya to her left. It was slightly disappointing The ball played forward, and now Cynthia escapes the challenge. And the second. Not allowed to make the cross. Silky Devi just going in tight on the Brazilian. Sabitra, Dangmei Grace with a step over. Sweetie Devi clearly saw that. What a game going on here at the Transstadia. You simply cannot take your eyes off it. It looks like a rib injury to the Brazilian. That's trailing arm from Roja. And Anju Tamang is getting treated here. Let us show you the goals then. A slight stoppage in play due to an injury. And this is how Bala Devi opened the scoring for Odisha FC early in the first half. Gokulam Kerala ending the first half on a high. Roja Devi making it 1-1. But the only highlight incident of the second half has been Ranjana Chanu's red card incident. And Dangmei Grace with an individual effort hitting the woodwork. Savitra Bhandari as well getting close couple of times. Grace Lalampari as well. Missing the target by a whisker from Anju Tamang's free kick. Grace takes the throw in. Indumati goes low, comfortably cleared by Setu. A conscious effort at restructuring seems to be working for Kerala football. The first step that KFA took in 2014 was to have a pool of qualified coaches, and they have been deployed in villages and rural areas to start the grassroots level training centers. And at present there are more than 300 centers in the state, and the district level competition in various age group categories starting from the under 12 have rekindled interest. And grassroots level football, district level football indeed, is the backbone of any state. And it has been played in a home and away format in Kerala, and it has created a lot of enthusiasm. Unlike leagues in Kolkata or Mumbai, which are mostly city-based, there is a first of its kind where district teams travel to play their away matches. And the good thing is that there is tremendous support from parents there. In 2018, Kerala won the Santosh Trophy, a sure sign that Kerala was on a counter-attack, and its footballers were once again alive and kicking. The success of Kerala football continues. And apart from the district level competitions, the Kerala Premier League and the Kerala Women's League had added to the popularity of the game. The prize money of KPL tournament started in 13-14 features 12 semi-professional teams like Gokulam Kerala, Kerala Police, Golden Threads, etc., which are a good mix of private and institutional teams. Despite COVID regulations, every match draws an average of 5,000 fans at the match venues, and 1,000 watch the games online. Anju Couldn't make anything meaningful. Sweetie Devi skips past one. Karthika, Bala Devi within 3 touches. Grace Lalrampadi could have been in on goal. Excellent combination play from Odisha FC. Doesn't looks like Gokulam are down by a player. Fighting hard, fighting neck to neck with Odisha, looking very dangerous on the break. There is Sweetie, Manisha, Julie Kishan, Anju Tamang unlocking the left wing. Anju's ball towards Bala. Indu is there to clear. Ashalata Devi eventually completing the clearance. That should be a foul on Grace. She's won the Uzbekistan Premier League with Al Nasaf. The first women player from India to play a league in Uzbekistan. That made a lot of headlines as well. She comes from Manipur. Dangmei Grace. Ashalata. A good strong header from Sweetie. Santos. That was more than hopeful than anything. Bhandari. Grace. A free kick goes Gokulam's way. Monica Jana will have a check at the player. Kanika Burman, a senior referee, officiating her 140th game. Ashalata Devi sending in a floater towards Sabitra Bhandari. Just over from the Nepalese. Almost hung in the air and managed to connect. Just couldn't keep it underneath the crossbar. Takes a lot of effort even to connect to that cross, which was quite high. And now Grace drawing a free kick in her favor. She was clearly tripped by her namesake. Ashalata Devi this time goes directly. Shreya Huda favorable for the keeper, the height. Good shape on the free kick, but it went quite straight towards the goalkeeper. She had that covered as well. Munda. A clever touch. Shoda Munda. Pulling it back for Baladevi. So when goes behind her momentarily. Looking to regain a possession of the ball, Bala. Defending in numbers, Gokulam Kerala. Whenever she's getting on the ball, 3 green shirts converging quickly onto her. Crispin Chetri can still bring in another foreigner in Faustina to strengthen their up front. They are playing with only one on the pitch at the moment. Anju Tamang flagged off. Baladevi with the pass. Clearly saw the gap, the number 10. Odisha FC have announced the launch of their senior women's team on the holy occasion of Rath Yatra, an auspicious day for all the Odias. The Hero Indian Women's League, a club from Odisha, released a video to mark their entry into the IWL while revealing their head coach in a separate announcement shortly after. And this time Grace flagged off, Dangmei Grace. Still she couldn't find the back of the net. The aim to have a professional women's team from one of the major hotbeds of Indian football was always a clear ambition for the club's owners. Here is Sabitra Bhandari mapping the goal mouth. Sabitra Bhandari hits the base of the post. What a chance for the number 9. A second time not managing to hit the target. Just off the base of the post. Getting her placement completely wrong. What is happening here with Sabitra Bhandari this evening? She created this chance all by herself, using her raw pace, beating couple of white shirts. There it is, just going in between two white shirts. Got the placement completely wrong. This relationship with the post needs to end in a hurry for the Nepalese. Hitting the post, hitting the crossbar. Cannot find a goal, Gokulam Kerala, as of yet in the second half. And half a dozen for Setu Madurai already at the other game. Here is Crispin Chetri. So far, his team not been able to play to its fullest potential, despite up against 10 players of Gokulam Kerala. Yet to take the advantage. Instead, the Malabarians are looking dangerous. Manisha Panna will be replaced. That injury looks quite serious. Baladevi just having a word with her coach. Just stretch it out, Manisha Panna. And we wish for her speedy recovery. Looks like a serious ankle injury to the number 33. And Karishma Odam will replace her. This is Grace. A giveaway to Dangmei Grace. Sandhya. Savitra Bhandari. Both the teams at present down to 10 players. A no look pass, that's cleverly done. It sets up for a shot. Comes towards Indu. Human traffic inside the box. Cynthia. Shilki Devi with the interception. Spraying it to the left. Didn't have the legs to keep it in play. Karishma Oram replacing Manisha Panna. A like for like change. A centre back replacing a centre back. It seems like a whistle for the cooling break here. It's been a half of missed chances from Gokulam Kerala. Dangmei Grace hitting the post. Sabitra Bhandari almost with a similar kind of a run like her skipper. Both of them not managing to convert. Gokulam and 2-1. These are the goals. Bala Devi with a well-measured header. Perfectly timed jump as well. Sabitra with that reverse ball. The right full back misjudging. Roja Devi scoring the equalizer. A defensive error from Odisha FC. Quite a few of them in the second half as well, but Gokulam are not managing to make it count. We are into the last quarter of this game. Already one penalty shootout in the morning between Eastern Sporting Union and Sports Odisha. Odisha FC club taking the next step in its first professional season, participating in the Odisha Women's League and won the tournament to qualify for the IWL through the state qualifiers. They faced a stiff competition from traditional powerhouses like Odisha Police, East Coast and Railways, and Anju Tamang from a very difficult angle. Collected quite easily by Bitrice. Yes, the number 12 now picks up the ball and slicing it up towards Jashoda Munda. Kritina Devi not taking any kind of risk whatsoever. Piari's crossing. It has taken a slight deflection of a green shirt and goes out for a corner. And Piari Khaka will come on for Odisha FC, a very prolific goal scorer. She scored 11 goals for Sports Odisha last year. Finally Crispin Chetri playing his card in the last quarter of the game. Still one more remaining in Faustina. And Jashoda Munda has been sacrificed. Bitrice plucks it out of the danger zone. She was almost crowded out. Managing to hold on to the ball in the end. Indu. That should be a booking, surely. Julie Kishan bringing down Indumati. Clearly walking past the number 4 Julie. A faintest of touches from the number 4. From 35 yards out, this free kick. Ashalata Devi and Indumati, both of them interested. Indumati instead, who takes it away from Sweetie Devi. Not too far though. Puts it right back into the mix. Sabitra Bhandari brings it down. She's got options on the edge of the area. Smacked clear by the Odisha defence. A chance for a quick throw in. Baladevi. Leaving it for Anju Tamang. Anju finds Cynthia Dos Santos. She turns, finds Priyari. Just away from the goalkeeper. Is still open the attack. Couple of white shirts getting inside. Priyari brings it down. Away from Roja Devi. Pulling off a vital save, Bitrise. It was Priyari Khaka with the grounder. Just pushed away by the Ghanaian. Priyari once more. Making it comfortable for the goalkeeper. The call came in early from Bitrise. Anju Tamang's delivery and Cynthia playing in Priyari. Saw the gap and goes for it very quickly. Luckily for Gokulam, Kerala, it just stayed outside the line. She is receiving treatment, Beatrice. Looks like a shoulder injury. The club president of Odisha FC, Raj, had a message to the club supporters and well-wishers saying they're proud and delighted to launch the Odisha women's team, and the club are totally committed to providing a pathway for local girls to play the beautiful game, and hope that the club can grow. And 9 minutes remaining to the regulated 90. Cynthia. Grace playing it out for a throw-in. Uh, 54 strikes for Gokulam Kerala in 8 games. Conceded only 6. On the flip side, they've conceded only 3, Odisha FC, and have scored 29. They managed to keep 4 clean sheets as well. Sabitra Bhandari on the turn, denied by a couple of white shirts. Now they got to push the ball forward. Priyari. Creating gap in behind the defenders. Anju Tamang nodding it onto her path into the box. Anju Tamang quite dangerously, but her cutback didn't reach Priyari. Julie Kishan. Baladevi. She is well within shooting distance. Thought about a shot and then eventually had other ideas. Finds Cynthia instead. Her attempted cross not reaping rewards. Indumati under pressure. Sandhya. A clearance from Sweetie. Sandhya now into a crossing position. The ball somehow stayed in play. Are we heading towards another penalty shootout? It's 1-1 between Gokulam and Odisha FC. And Gokulam still managing to hold on with 10 players. Odisha FC in search of that elusive goal. And Gokulam Kerala the remaining minutes totally on the counter. There's also a battle between two astute tacticians, Andrews and Crispin Chetri. So far it's evenly matched. Even though Anthony Andrews will have slight edge, even with 10 players, his side put out a very attacking display. Anju Tamang on the burst. Needed a better cross than that. The number 9. Operating from the left channel. Savitra Bhandari. She's been kept quiet by that partnership of Sweetie Devi and Manisha Panna earlier. And now Karishma also doing quite well. Offering that run through the center, Savitra. She's been isolated up top. Dropping deep to get the ball. Sandhya waiting for Savitra to get inside the box. Finds the number 9. Closely marked by Sweetie Devi. Still Savitra. Trying to get the better of Sweetie. Finds the cross in. Just too high for Grace. Vivian Ajay is also warming up. The striker from Ghana. That's a sloppy defending from Gokulam. Odisha FC, they're trying to hurry things up. They want to finish it within another 90 minutes. Pyari onto her stronger side. They're just flying over. That ball was travelling. Now Baladevi. Anju Tamang. A lot of options. Bala takes over. Crowded out. And Gokulam having more numbers behind. Just allowing Odisha FC to have the ball. Grace. Cut out nicely by Ashalata Devi. Now Roja. Not allowed to turn by Cynthia. Arifa Zahid, the right full back, to take the throw in. It's bobbing inside the box. Ashalata getting a lot of distance on the clearance. A push from behind on Sabitra Bhandari. Overlooked by Kanika Burman. Sabitra is still down. Now play will be stopped by the referee. There she is, the top goal scorer of the league. Going through a barren run in this game. A couple of times she's gotten closer. Luck just not by her side. She need to go out for treatment. Final minute of the regulated 90. There's going to be a lot of time added on as well. Not expecting less than 8 minutes at least. Kanika Burman will restart play with a drop in. Gokulam are down to 9. Sabitra Bhandari receiving treatment on the sideline. A free kick conceded in a dangerous position by Odisha FC. Here's Ashalata Devi once more. Sabitra Bhandari is back in the field of play. Eight minutes of additional time here. Setu Madurai leading East Bengal 8-0. Goes low, cleverly delivered by Asha towards the near post. We were looking for that flick on. Didn't work out the plan. And now Santos. Played her club football mostly in Brazil. Maybe the first time playing in a league outside her country. Bhandari will capitalize. Only support in the form of Indu. Bhandari from distance. She had no other options rather than pulling the trigger. An audacious attempt. Karthika, a mistake from Kritina, and Pyari is in behind the defense. Perfect cross towards Bala. The goalkeeper will collect and does collect. Putting it up in the air, Baladevi. It looks like she's running out of gas. A 34-year-old. Silky could have left it for the goalkeeper. Just inviting the pressure there, the number 2. Sabitra Bhandari darting inside. Sweetie once more with the intervention. Can Gokulam Kerala find a winner here? That will be quite a remarkable result. Anju Tamang. And Odisha has set off Pyari with a fine turn. Through the inner channel is Baladevi present. A few step overs. Just did a bit too much with the ball at her feet. Overplaying it slightly, the number 11. Now Grace. And looking for Sabitra. Well marshalled by Odisha. Grace winning it once more. Cut out by Karishma. Grace. This is Pyari. A long chase for Bhandari. Bhandari winning it. A beautiful footwork from Bhandari, cutting inside. Oof, so close. And yet so far for Gokulam. Third time unlucky this evening. There's that trick away from Sweetie. Just not her day. Knocking through the channel now, where Pyari is present. Kritina has been pretty solid in the second half on that right wing for Gokulam Kerala. Julie takes the throw in. Just about 3 minutes remaining. Both the teams look slightly tired here. Fatigue creeping in. Not much changes made by either of the head coaches. Here is Sandhya. Try to twinkle toe. Julie Kishan. Anju. Pyari looking for Anju. She gets there with her pace and buys a corner kick as well. This is a wonderful chance, a golden chance for Odisha FC to score from this corner. Just about 2 minutes or so left. A goal at this point of time will take them into the semi-final. Anju's corner straight towards the goalkeeper. It was in-swing floater from Anju Tamang. Just a minute and a half remaining. We are just about 90 seconds away from penalty shootout here. There is no extra time. A direct penalty shootout. Measuring that pass, Baladevi towards Anju Tamang. Struck fiercely by the number 9. Opened up wonderfully for Anju. Bitrice had that covered. Wonderfully opened up for Odisha FC through Bala's pass. The last minute of this game. Anju Tamang had a tremendous game. Setu Madurai have qualified for the semi-finals and they have defeated East Bengal 9-0. Setu Madurai to face the winner of the second quarter-final, that is Eastern Sporting Union. Less than 15 seconds left. One last attack from Odisha. Grace stepping in. A reverse ball from Bala. And now Cynthia Dos Santos. Can she make something happen? Luckily getting the return as well. A full time from Kanika Burman. The great game of glory has been dragged towards a penalty shootout. At full time, it has ended 1-1 between Gokulam Kerala and Odisha FC. Bala Devi's strike in the first half cancelled out just before the break by Roja Devi. And now a penalty shootout to separate these two teams. These are the highlights of this game. The 90 minutes ended in a 1-1. This is how Bala Devi calmly placing it into the back of the net. And a clever flick could have gotten on the score sheet. Karthika. Ranjana Chanu with couple of outswing floaters. Keeper had to work hard. A few physical challenges as well. Anju Tamang missing the target from the 20 yards out. This was the first booking for Ranjana in the first half. Hello. Sabitra Bhandari almost setting up Grace inside the box. This was the moment. This is how Gokulam fought back into this game. The keeper did get a touch, but struck with a lot of pace. That was how Ranjana was sent off. The second yellow. Sabitra Bhandari flashing it wide. Grace had the chance to square it. Not on the same wavelength, those two attackers. Grace all by herself. Almost taking on the entire Odisha FC defense. Sabitra almost doing the same. But in both the occasions, the post coming in the way. Pyari Khaka forcing a save out of a bit rice. This was towards the closing stages. Sabitra Bhandari had one last chance and she failed to capitalize. They want the butterflies in the stomach to end. Both teams will want it to end early. Well, let us take you back into the past. Before speeches, before a war, Caesar didn't give grand ones. Especially before the battle at Pompeii, he spoke to them. He had an animated conversation from the top of a tree stump with radish on one hand and a loaf of bread at the other. And Anthony Andrews, he knows it because he is one of them. So as Crispin Chetri, part of the team. And he has those back home in Odisha as well. And the second game of the day going into penalty shootout. Now Bitrise up against Shreya Huda. The youngster in a battle against the senior player. This is a wonderful setting. We are all hoping for a perfect ending to this mammoth fixture. Kanika Burman just having a word with Anthony Andrews, just issuing a warning. As Gokulam Kerala looks like will take the first shot. Tension in the air. Looks like it is Ashalata Devi entrusted in taking the first penalty shot. Sometimes when players they do not have trust in their abilities, they opt to choose a side rather than going down the center. And the keepers always they likes to make a decision rather than standing still. That's the keeper's psychology. So it's Ashalata Devi up against Shreya Huda, the seasoned campaigner, up against the youngster to take the penalty number 1 in a best of 5. Asha with the short run up, and she slots it into the bottom corner. Shreya Huda completely rooted to her spot. 1-0 Gokulam Kerala. First shot converted with ease. She changed the angle of her right foot at the last moment to make sure it goes the other way. Now it's Anju Tamang's turn. She is up against the Ghanaian Bitrice. Gokulam Kerala in the driver's seat, having converted the first spot kick. Pressure on Odisha FC now. Anju Tamang to take the first shot for the Juggernauts. Anju looking nervous in the run-up and is saved by Bitrice. That bit of stutter in the run-up gave the keeper slight momentum. She made the right anticipation, Bitrice, and winning the psychological battle against the Indian youngster, the India international. Missing the spot kick. Advantage for Gokulam Kerala. Sabitra Bhandari next for Gokulam Kerala. She's missed plenty of opportunities in the game. Can she make this one count? Slots it home with certain comfort. Wonderfully taken penalty. And up against a tall goalkeeper like Shreya, you always got to choose between the top corner or the bottom corner. But Sabitra Bhandari having a lot of guts in going and spotting the penalty somewhere in between. That's what confidence can do. Gokulam Kerala are 2-0 up. And now Baladevi's turn. Usually during penalties, one is crescent under the dark. Baladevi to put some light, and Baladevi misses it! Can you believe it? Bitrice doing the unthinkable here. A slight touch from the goalkeeper and a major help from the woodwork. Gokulam are sensing something here. Still unbeaten Bitrice in the penalty shootout. Shreya Huda got to stop this. To keep her side into the mix. Indumati to make it 3-0. Indumati with a short run up, gentle backlift. Again sending the keeper the wrong way. He was almost like a spectator between the sticks. Shreya Huda struck with a lot of venom. A third penalty converted in a row by Gokulam. They are 3-0 up. If Odisha FC misses this one, Gokulam Kerala will be through to the semi-final. Pyari Khaka. This could prove to be the decisive spot kick. All eyes on Bitrice. She is certainly on a high, having saved a couple of penalties already. Pyari Khaka must be feeling the heat here. Pyari Khaka goes for it and it's saved by Bitrice. Gokulam Kerala are through to the semi-final. It has ended 3-0 in tiebreaker. An absolute masterclass from Bitrice. Anthony Andrews getting his selection right. Attackers blending. Dangmei Grace integrated properly throughout the season. They were banging with blunt heads and burnt wings. And those blunt heads have turned into sharp minds. And those burnt wings have begun flapping again to take flight in the Hero Indian Women's League semi-finals. Stupendous stuff from Bitrice. 3 in a row. How often do you see this in a game like this? Anthony Andrews and his ways and his means to an end, and his circumstances and his ploys and his mistakes and all his aces. And for Crispin Chetri, it's all about optimism. And the thing about optimism is that all good things comes to an end. And Odisha FC have run their race. But this race has been memorable than the races they have run before. But this is as far as they will go. For Gokulam Kerala, they can now look forward being into the Hero Indian Women's League semi-finals. Once again, job done. For Crispin Chetri, it seems the job has just begun. Anthony Andrews will make sure to cut short the celebration. A crucial tie coming up against their southern rivals kickstart on the 19th of this month. Just 72 hours from here on. A sigh of relief for Anthony Andrews. Bitrice is the hero of today's game. Unbelievable stuff. The celebration is going to continue throughout this evening. At full time it has ended 1-1, but Gokulam Kerala beating Odisha FC in tiebreaker by 3-0. With 10 players, they have pulled it off finally. The plan from Anthony Andrews has worked quite successfully. Bitrice will cherish this moment. This could be a game changer for the Ghanaian, putting her on the limelight in the Indian soil. Shreya Huda, once a hero for Gokulam Kerala, now Odisha's very own, succumbing under the pressure. And Anthony Andrews, once again in the great game of glory, has turned out victorious. Never play chess with the Maharashtrian. He always seems to have a pawn up his sleeves. Gokulam Kerala converting all their spot kicks, and Bitrice with 3 saves in a row. That all it takes from the Ghanaian. The hero of the match, Bitrice Ketia. Today is the hero of the match. This is no brainer. She will be awarded a check of 15,000 rupees. So the full-time scoreline from the Trans Stadia, Gokulam Kerala winning it in tiebreaker by a 3 goals margin. Thank you so much for being with us. It has been a pleasure calling this game from the Trans Stadia. See you again. Goodbye.